When Bruce first told me he drew with pen and ink, I didn't know what to think. I know a lot of artists who draw these days a lot, and I had no idea just how marvelous his work was. I was very delightfully surprised. The dedication and the imagination that goes into his work is really remarkable. He reminds me of old world masters who worked representationally, but he's working from the subconscious, and there's so much going on. You can sit and look and study these images for hours, and he creates a marvelous world to explore. The viewer is constantly rewarded with their interest. I see pain, I see joy, I see searching, I see transcendence, I see a great deal of thinking, of pondering on the greater questions. He's not afraid to expose all of those emotions. Many artists don't go there, but Bruce allows himself to be vulnerable, and that's a wonderful quality. That's an artist of depth.
My name is Bruce Zeines. You're here at Gallery 64. This is my show, the closing of my show, Secret Stories. Primarily, people always ask me what I'm thinking when I draw these monstrous, intense, obsessive cross-hatchings. I pretty much start with a blank piece of paper. I section off an area of a limited area, and I just begin to stroke pen strokes anywhere on a paper, which means I don't preconceive any of these images. They pretty much emerge out of the paper, and I am the vehicle for making it happen. Usually there's a point in the process where I want to stop or I want to give up, and that's the point where I need to go further. And that's where these things really start to come alive. Drawing is an immediate process. It's, especially with ink, once you put ink down, it's there. You can't step back. So there's a kind of commitment to drawing, and there's also a direct communication between one's feelings, through the pen to the paper. I guess the work is a drawing of the subconscious. Subconscious, I've always seen it as this underlying river that exists within all of us. And through meditation and other types of quiet work, one would see that, there's a whole inner dialogue underlying everything that goes on in my life. And these drawings are kind of an expression of that. It's kind of a no-holds-bar attitude that any image that comes is allowed, because there's an interest in trying to make visible what's invisible, to quote Paul Klee. I do have a background of things that are, disquieting in terms of, my family life and family history, but I don't feel it's any different than anyone else. I think everyone has their share. My brother, maybe he was my first influence. He used to draw a lot. He drew really cool spaceships, and I thought that was really cool. He was about 8 years older than me. He had a huge comic book collection, which I indulged myself in. My brother died a few years ago from Lou Gehrig's disease, which was a horrendous thing to witness, but in a sense it sort of freed me to go even further, to see that the dark side of life is pretty deep, but behind it there's a light, and that's what I'm looking for. But one needs to see what's in front of the light. It's not like I'm only telling my story. There's something personal about them, and yet there's something global or universal for me. And I think that all these things are part of life. I mean, people, if they want to deny it, they're in agony. That's their denial. I'm not denying it. I have anger. I have anguish and agony and nervousness. I also have peace and inner quiet and joy. And I think I try to reflect all of this. You know, the drawings are kind of expressions of what's going on. You know, for instance, like one of the pieces I have on the wall here, it's called Loat in the Sodom Marketplace. Now, I only named it that after the piece was done, but when I meditated on the piece, it struck me as, you know, this is life, you know, that there is all kinds of craziness and chaos around, and yet in the midst of that, there's quiet, and there's, you know, peace. And, you know, this is what life is made of. So I don't feel tortured. Actually, I feel liberated when I do this work. Yeah, this series of work represents a culmination of experience. You know, I've done so many different things over the course of my life. But, you know, this particular phase, it's almost like something has come together, you know, at this stage of my life, you know, my age, the things I've been through, you know, my inner work. It's all connected. As far as where these things are going, right now I see them just getting more and more intense, more bright. I'd like to see very large canvases, even large panels which I can draw on for long periods of time. Well, size is the challenge. You always want to, as you get bigger, there's more commitment to each piece. I mean, the larger works that are here, you know, take about a month. So there's that commitment with staying with one piece for a month, but I'd like to see if there are pieces I could stay with for several months, you know, that are larger. I do see a natural transition in the future for paint, starting to move slowly into paint. I'm kind of letting the process emerge by itself, though. I'm not forcing anything. I'm letting it just evolve. I'm not sure exactly where they're going to go. It's they'll tell me, in a sense. The drawing process will tell me where it's going to go. And it's very exciting to watch for me, personally.